Good, good morning. Sorry, I'm just starting a little bit late here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today, and thank you for your goodness, your grace, and your mercy. We thank you for all of your blessings, and I just ask that you would give us wisdom and discernment as we go into the market to execute some trades today. In the name of Yeshua, amen. All right, the internet is just trying to load. Okay, there we go. So we got nothing really of high impact for this session listed for today. But it seems we had a little something 45 minutes ago. Iran State TV, we have a draft of the initial unofficial framework for the MOU with the U.S. Okay, let's go see what that's doing to the market. So we did get a little pop up of 26 pips, and we're coming right back down. I'm gonna probably take that to the short side, seeing that the market has already come back into this consolidation. I'm gonna go back out to the daily. And I'm just going to take out all those objects on the chart, clean it up. So it looks as if we just tried to break out of that consolidation. And then just so far couldn't quite do it. So if it goes back up and tries again, this line should be a pretty good magnet. So I already knew that was happening in the back of my mind. That's why I already started with the trade. But I'm gonna play the side of it's tried to break out and just got rejected there. in the short time frame. And there's the hour candle, a pretty big rejection to the break. And this was the London session. Another super slow session. Super slow. Hey David, how's it going? And then down to the 5 minute, and we can see that in detail, that pop up, whatever that news is. It's enough that it's got the market going anyway. So now back down to the trading time frame. And we can see we just took profit on that trade. And it looks like this is trying to do 100% retracement at the moment. I don't know if it's going to, but I'll probably still short it as it pops up. You could put this line back in over here. And that can be the line that it tried to break out and came back in at. Doing good, nice. And I just got on here, started an hour late today. I got stuck in trades all night. Don't usually start at this time. Here, I'll show you the trades I got stuck in. So I started in the Tokyo session in here, shorting. I really just missed my exit on this one, but then I was actually really missing my exit on this shot down because I had been shorting, and I just missed it there. I actually was like half asleep right in there, and so I missed getting out. Some targets hit on mine, but I really should have just been out on that pivot back. But this market through the London session moved 10 pips. 10 pips for the London session. That's crazy. I just don't get why that's so dead still. But it was super dead, and so I ended up coming all the way to here where I got out, and I left a trade or two running to see if it would keep going, but it was like 6:30 in the morning for me when I finally was able to get out of that 10 pip range. It was crazy. Very tiring night. I'm just trying to get a little thorn out of my knuckle. I was in the rose bushes yesterday at my parents'. I guess I didn't realize just how involved I got with those rose bushes. Well, at least we got this little bit of activity to get the market going. Man, because yesterday was so slow. Yeah, I just couldn't even believe the Tokyo session was super slow. And it was the one that had all the red folders last night, too. So I kind of like expected there to be a little something. But man, that was slow. I'm supposed to pick the roses. They're not blooming yet. They got all kinds of thorn stuff. Yeah, they've got some big rose bushes. And then my parents got my boys 2 drones, which was super cool. My boy, so both of them they got little drones, and my eldest, he went to turn on the drone and it flew away immediately and he lost it. So I ran like a long way through the fields trying to go find that thing, and I couldn't find it. But they started using them when they weren't supposed to. We were supposed to be there to help them get them calibrated and set up. And yeah, so they lost the drone immediately, which is classic. Boys not paying attention, not listening. Oh, your brother was 6-month course in aerial photography with the drone. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the drones. Yeah, that's cool. Man, there's some good businesses that you can get going with those. Some good stuff. You got your range accounted for. Are you long or short on the yen? About to get into another short here. You get to pop up just a little bit more. Oh, you don't have your direction yet. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that for sure. All right, I'm gonna try and squeeze another one. Get one in there. And this is my second layer, which I usually do 2 on, but because they're kind of crammed together, I'm just gonna do the one in this location, and if it pops up maybe more to the line, I'll get in that second one to spread out that second layer. Although last night was a super long night, I ended up doing pretty well. I think I left off yesterday with around 10,050. So I think I put in about 25 bucks last night. Hit one of those targets. This target I've got left on there is kind of not in a great spot. It's lining up with that little pivot down there, but I feel like it's kind of bouncing off that. Just kind of creating some consolidation right in here. I'm just going to take that profit there. Sure, it's going to go and hit the target now that I took it off, but I just, oh yeah, of course, right there. I just didn't want it to, the target wasn't in a good spot, so just wait for another one. Oh, that target may not have hit, actually. No, it would have. It would have hit. It's trying to bounce back up in, though. Okay, so now as that market's popping back up, we'll get back into another short. And then that target comes in just above that last pivot, which works. Just gonna pull up the dollar yen. Oh wow, that had a pretty good pop down. Oh, it's only 20 pips. Man, what is going on? Where are the traders at? Yeah, see, still pushing up. But where are the traders at? Oh, there's some energy coming in. We got a few minutes to the stock market open. Just bounced off my target there. Yeah, man, I don't get it. I just don't get why it's this dead. like after a long weekend, I would have thought the London session last night would have been like really moving well, but it was super dead all last night, and this is still barely going anywhere. Okay, just hit that target. At least it's better than yesterday, but still not up to regular standards here. Hopefully, like over the next half an hour, this market just starts coming together. It can't stay dead forever. It's not summer yet. All right, I'm about to get into another trade. Just gonna measure. I don't want to waste one little bit of these trades. Okay, if it pops up just a tiny bit more, right there, perfect. Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know what's going on. Where are the traders? If they don't show up in this next hour, like, they gotta show up. mean, this is already a lot better than even last night. That London session, it moved 10 pips from its top to its bottom. 10, or maybe 11 pips, but on average, that's like 25 pips, that movement, or I think even more. From what I remember, my measurements is that the Tokyo session, on average, moves back and forth 20 pips. The London session moves a whole bunch more. So that was super, super slow. I should know what that range is on the London session. I can't remember though. Yeah, the London session usually moves 50 to 70 pips. Usually, and it moved 10. Although I guess the London session isn't over, so that's what I'm thinking. This next hour, it should start to turn right back on, because it's got to fulfill a decent amount of average daily range in ADR, or the average true range. here we are. The market is stuck again. Well, at least this range at the moment, it has 6 pips in it. So that's a lot better than it was yesterday. Still not great though. I've got my trade stuck right in the middle of this range, which is not great. Okay, got a pretty good candle pop up. If I can get another little push, I'm going to get in and then try and reposition, get into a second trade and then try and reposition the bottom one because it's just not in a good spot. I'm going to take that one there and see now my trades, they're fitting in this range. This trade target's fitting much better. So if I can get down to there, I can take off the bottom one for like a small profit and just reposition it. funny that I switched my rules back this week when so far my old, or the 17 pip stop losses I had would be working really well in these conditions. But that's okay. As soon as this market turns on, I'll be thankful I did switch back. Okay, so now I'm gonna just get back out of this trade right in here. Now I can reposition better. Instead of being stuck in the middle of that range, I can just take it off for a small win and then reposition it. We got 10 minutes to the generally the really good trading hour. All right, I'm going to take that trade if it can pop up just a bit more. All right, starting to trigger like a little 3-bar reversal. Oh, it's rejecting that turn. And there's some energy coming into that candle. Looks like I just missed that little opportunity. Yeah. I think because it's so slow, I'm going to just take longs in here because it hasn't broken even any of this range yet, so. And then add another layer in here. Okay, starting to move down to that next layer where I can get another long on. We got 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Sure hoping we see some more traders come in. I think if I can get profits on this one, I'll just take whatever I can get, because I kind of now want to flip back over to the short side. And now this trade has moved up almost 3 pips, like 2.5 pips now that it's moved up. So I want to reposition this trade, because it broke down beyond this pivot point here. So if we go from pivot at the top to pivot down here, that was 8.5 pips, which is a good spot for the market to turn. But I'm going to just take that little profit and then flip to the other side. And then get back to the short. See, now the target hits this is where I want to be. All right, we're into that new hour. This is where it should get good. Direction accounted for. So now, did you find a short, or sorry, a long on the dollar yen? The retest for the range is complete. I'm waiting for a valid entry on a short. Oh, okay. All right, coming back down into that target. See if it can grab it. It's super close. There we go. Took another target. So that was a pretty good flip. Moving back over to that short. Okay, if this can pop up a bit more, I'll get back into that short. All right, get back into that in there. That target's coming in right on the last pivot. Okay, market, anytime now. Yeah, it is choppy. There's just not enough traders in here to get the market going. Like, this way that I'm trading is good for chop, but it's still the level of volatility is still super low. Okay, I'll be right back. Just need to grab a banana. I can barely keep my eyes open. All right, I'm gonna try and squeeze another trade in here. If we can pop up just a bit more. Yeah, I'll take that there. I'm gonna remove all these lines again, too. And just start over. into that second trade in that second layer right there. And then I gotta wait for a pop up higher to get into that third layer. I don't think that horizontal line was sticking on there too good. I'm seeing this coming in here. You got your entry confirmed. Is that a short then? Can't really quite tell. Wow, that range is just only 4 pips. This can pop up a little bit more. I'm gonna fade into that third layer. 1. Yeah, small range, but better than a wide range. Yeah, for an entry. So was that a short then that you got into? get into a second. It's got to push up just a little bit more. All right, second trade in that third layer. Got 2 more trades to add. Okay, there's the pop I was looking for. So get into the other 2 positions of that layer. All right, there's some energy coming into that candle. Got a flicker of volatility there. Yeah, definitely. But it's just like now it's stopped. I thought that was going to turn into something. Suiting up for the midweek reversal, maybe. Definitely could be. Yeah, it could be on the yen because it's just been going up and up, right? I feel like that reversal would look better on the yen than it would on the euro dollar because the euro dollar is just still in consolidation on the daily. A lot of strength at the ceiling. Yeah, there is. Definitely could shape up for a reversal. It's been going up for a while and it's at a pretty good resistance point. It's a good spot for it to pivot. All right, taking a few of those targets out. Nice. I'm going to take a loss off the bottom. And then I'm going to reduce this down to a single layer setup now. So now if it goes back up, I can get back into a second layer instead of a third layer. So it was a nice little move. I'm going to just play both sides. If I can get a good pop down, I'll go long on it. Pops back up, I'll put a short back on. Right there. Too bad I didn't get that long on in time. All right, get it into that second position on the second layer if it just pops up a bit more. Maybe there. It's a decent little spot. I'm squeezing it, just trying to squeeze these trades in because it's still not much going on. That little run up is now 15, 16 pips. What's going on in the yen? bounce back up. The fake break to the downside there. Yeah, don't want to force anything. The range is just so small. It's kind of just hard to get your trades in the right spot. Really, I think I should maybe, personally, I should maybe be dropping my targets down to 2 pip, take profit, and then it would fit a little bit better in this market. But I'd rather try and squeeze 3 pip targets in and keep myself acting slower than start trying to fit the 2 pip targets in, because I'll just start, my size will get up pretty quickly if I start doing that. So I'm gonna just see if I can squeeze those 3 pip targets into the range, but it's a tight fit though. Yeah, that Ian's being a turd. Wow, only 4 pip range now still. Or I guess you could take it from up here. If you took it from up there, then you've got still only 6 pip range. That is so small. For the dollar yen at this time, that is really small. That is crazy. And it's been in that 6 pip range now for like all the way back to here, like 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, 6 pips. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'll get back into that third layer if it can pop up to that old high. Yeah, 4 pip range from your start time. Absolutely nuts. Just mind-blowing how little that thing is moving. I think like when it does decide it's going to move, it should probably be a pretty good one. All right, gonna get my finger on the trigger, try and start fading into that third layer. Again, start slow. This is getting to be a good spot right here. I'm gonna just start with the 2. If he keeps pushing up, I'll get into a little bit more. third trade in. Got one more trade for this layer. Oh, there's some volatility. Just tagged a target in a second. Gonna get ready. If we can grab that second one, I'm gonna size down again, take a loss. Come on, grab that one. Okay, so I'm taking a loss on the bottom one. Pops up, I'll fade back into that. Short. That was a nice little move. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna stretch one of these targets out down to here because the volatility is picking up. Created higher high within the range. Okay, I took another target and I'm gonna secure that one. I don't want that to turn into a loser. So that one's a small profit. And heading down a little bit more, I'm gonna just take that profit right there. Oops. Close that. Nice. I'm gonna go long there. And the euro yen is popping up. Uh-oh. It moved 6 pips upward. Just gonna take that profit there too. All right, now it's in the middle. I gotta just wait. Actually, I can short it there because that target's now coming in at that last pivot. Finally, something's going on. There must be some news. Oh, yep, something just came in. The White House MOU reported on by Iran media is fabrication. Okay. What media isn't fabrication? That should be the question. Yeah, just came. Well, I mean, for Forex Factory just came up with one, a little statement. Forex Factory's got it, but it came out like maybe like just a minute ago. Yeah, it's all fabrication. It's all lies. I don't believe a thing from one news outlet. When will people catch on, though? That's the thing. All right, gonna squeeze one more trade in there. So I'm gonna just hold off and get this next trade on at the old highs. Just because I kind of crammed that one trade in there a little bit, so I'm just gonna space the next one out a little. Oops, I was chatting on mute. I was telling myself not to add any more right now, to squeeze any more trades into that range. It's not a good idea. What I've got on there is just fine though. I was also saying I don't know what to do with that yen. Not sure what to do with that. It's just, the thing is, it's still barely going anywhere. Even that leg up was 6.5 pips. And it's just wild. Oh wow, this pattern is so similar to last night. Got these like kind of like triple top type things going on with these lower lows, or these lower highs coming in. Okay, grab that target. I had that same pattern right over here last night. And then I had the little drop. And we've got that same thing coming in right now. Just missed that target. Man, it's just getting stuck again. Just getting stuck again. What's going on? Is your yen trade still hanging on, or did it get taken out? So now my trade, this trade is stuck right in the middle of the range. So it's not really in a good spot anymore. So if I can get maybe a little profit on it, I might try and reposition it. Or if maybe the market gets back up here, I can get into another trade. But that, keep on finding that because the market keeps consolidating and not going anywhere, my trades keep ending up in the middle of the range. Just get my finger on the trigger to try and get another short on the red line. Oh, here's some energy coming back in again. There we go, hit that one target. This market's kind of stuck right in the middle again. I may just take a small profit on that lower trade if I can just get a little profit and then try and reposition it, because it's just also, again, not in a great spot. We'll see. I got some profit on that first one, so I don't necessarily need this one to make the profit. I'd rather just get myself into a better location than try and wait for the profit on it to hit a target or hit the target. So I'm just going to watch carefully here, and if it stalls, I might just take a little profit instead of waiting for it to hit the target. Okay, perfect. Didn't need to do anything. Okay, I'm expecting we're going to see a run come into the market. Just because it just still hasn't had one. It hasn't had a good run in the whole week. It doesn't have to have a run. It just feels like it's time for it to go for one. Whether it's up or down, I don't know, but I'm thinking, at this rate, I'm thinking we might see a leg to the downside. This kind of, we got a rejection up there. Now we've just had another attempt to go up and coming back down. If I can pop up a little bit, I'll go for the short side. If it pops down a good chunk, I'll probably go for the long side too. Oh, there goes the dollar yen, making its move to the upside. Finally starting to go somewhere. Okay, so this run down is now 15 pips down. So I could get into a long here. Right there. That's at a good spot for a bounce. And then take another long down in here somewhere off those pivots. And then there's lots of other opportunities. Okay, as that pops down, I'm gonna get ready to get into that second trade right in here. Perfect. I'm gonna get into a second one right there. And probably another layer right in there. And then another layer down there. And then a last one somewhere in there. Hopefully I can get a turn anywhere in here. If I can get a turn, I should be able to maneuver out of those trades for a win. But the energy is finally coming into the market. We're finally starting to see people drive the market somewhere. I'm gonna pull this. I'm just gonna pull that trade down just a little. I want these targets to be right inside that red line. I just want them to be super easy to hit. So I want them to be below that pivot, which is in a good spot. Oh, there comes the energy. And I just start getting into that 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm just going to spread those ones also back out a little bit. Just like that. And now if that pops back up and hits that, actually, we can probably squeeze just a little bit more out of these. Right in there like that. That's a good spot. And as the market goes up to hit that layer, that should bring my equity into the positive range right on that layer. So I probably am going to try and close everything out if I can get those targets. And then flip to the short side to get with the immediate energy. But if not, it's fine. I'll let it run down further, get into some more layers. So I'm looking at the rules for re-entry on opposite side. Haven't been taking re-entries, but the rules do allow for it. considering back testing that idea. Yen did go bullish after liquidity was taken. Yep. My bias was initially bullish. I'm also considering not taking any trade that does not align with the daily bias. Yeah, I would say that's a good filter for sure. Would have hit full TP had I considered that beforehand. I think that's a great idea. If you can come up with a good daily bias, you could just only stick with those trades. I think that would be a great filter. It'd be an excellent filter. I mean, you gotta do you on that. I think that it is quite bullish. So if you found a good reason for an entry, I feel like it would be a good way. It would be a good trade to go long on it. My entries don't coincide with that too much because I'm trading for consolidation. So I'm trying to find the next period of consolidation. But I think we should see some continuation at this point. Less trade opportunities, but would think it would make it more probable. Yep. Yeah. Because your outlook and your perspective on the longer term is going to give you a higher probability for sure. So that'll give you less opportunity, less trading with higher probability. That should equal more money. It should. It's just going to require more patience than sitting around. But I think it's a good idea. All right, so I'm trying to find the next period of consolidation, and I'm the first guy, one of the first guys to it. So now we've run down 28 pips. This is a great spot for the market to turn. And I'm watching my equity here because that target should equal profits. So we'll just want to make sure that it does. I should get there. And these targets are also in a good spot. The only thing is at this point, they're a little bit above this little pivot on the 1 minute chart, which, I mean, right there, that's my only little spot that's gonna cause me some issues probably. It might not, but okay, there's almost profitability. So those targets would be profit for sure. So I will get out of them, or at least take out most of the other trades out for losses. So close. So close. Okay. Gonna get down to a one trade layer right there. And then get into short right there. Finally, there's traders. Finally. Whew. the market like this, we have all the time in the world. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Not looking forward to summer trading if this is any as a teaser as to what's coming, because the summer will get even slower than what we've had the past couple days. So now I'm down to one layer on each side. It's a great spot to be in. I really don't care which way it goes. I'm not biased. Just whatever happens, just trade my layer system and I'll come out. I should really be bringing this to an end. I realize we're already into over 11. But the volatility is finally here too, so we'll trade this out for a few more minutes now that people are here. Actually, I'm glad I started an hour later today, because that first hour would have been so boring. Oh no, we did get that little volatility spike in there. Darn, that actually would have been good to trade. That news. I missed that. That would have been good news to trade. But right ahead of that, holy cow, look how slow that was before that news that came in. All right, if this can just pop up a little, try and get a 0 on the buy, and then I'll flip to the short side and just finish up on the short side if I can. That's my plan here. Okay, here comes a 0 on the buy. Gotta let it try and hit like 10 or 15 cents. Right there, there's 25 cents. Oh, did I even get it? I did, just got it before it popped back down. Wait, I've still got the buy on. They've changed positions on me. Okay, well now if it pops up, I'm gonna try and get a 0 on it. Because I got a little money on the short, 25 cents on the short. All right, just pop up. Get a 0 or a tiny win. I feel like it might just die right off too. I don't really want to get stuck if it does decide to die right off. The last hour truly wasn't too bad on the euro dollar. Finally had a little bit of movement in here, and then we finally got this 25, or what did I say, 28 pip run, was that? Yeah, 28 pip run. Finally. that dollar yen still going up. Yeah, it's starting to close above that breakout point. Maybe you find another entry to the long side. It's kind of looking good. There's the hour chart. The hour closed really strong. That hour bar was a really strong breakout candle. And yeah, there's definitely still juice left in that. But yeah, I don't know what you want to do. Follow whatever your rules are. Still looks pretty good for the long. The turn is just not there yet. And you know what? That rejection a couple hours ago is kind of indicating that it might keep going up for a bit before it turns around. There's a lot of bullish pressure still in there. Yeah, I just want to get out of this. If I can get up, I just took 25-cent profit on the short, so if I can get like negative 25 cents or so, I'm going to just take the little negative because I just don't want to be in it anymore. There's that, almost negative 25 cents. Almost there, just one more little pop. Right there, negative 20 cents, good enough. All right, I'm gonna call that done for the live. That ended up being all right. Put the trading history. I'm gonna take off all these objects and put on the trading history. So it was really difficult squeezing anything out of this, but managed to get some shorts out of that. Very small range. Very small range. About 6 pips, so that was all right. And then we started to move into this during the second, going into the third hour of the open in here, and it started to pick up. Got some shorts in there, close out a couple more shorts in here, a couple more shorts, then got into the third layer of longs down here, pulled out for profits right in there. So that was a good wobble. That was good trading. And a little bit up on the day, I think. I don't remember where it was at now, 76 or something. I think we're up like 20 bucks again. So good little session after a pretty long and slow start to get it going. Just looking at that yen to see if it's going to hold. Darn thing looks like it wants to come back in. I don't know, but if it starts holding above that line, I think it's a pretty good bullish trade. There, starting to see those bulls come back in right there. All right. I'm going to call that a session. Ended up being pretty good. So thanks for coming in, David. And for anybody that's watching the recording, thanks a bunch. If you enjoy this, drop a like or subscribe. It's good for the algorithms for me and for you. And there is a 1 hour order block that I've been eyeing as a point of interest. I think I was seeing that too. Is that before I go, did I have that line on there? Is that the point of interest? Is that what you're talking about right in there, that line? Because that's like a really big line right there on that longer term. Like on the hour chart, that's a strong level. Right in there. Price is higher at 160.5. 160.5. Oh, I've got a line up there. 160. 160. Point. Oh, wait, what's all the way up there? Oh, yeah. Right there. It's, what are you saying is that line, the line though? We've got a pivot over there. For sure. Oh, yeah, there's a couple good pivots up there. Man, the market could cruise up to there for sure. Another 100 pips. Is that what you're seeing? Am I seeing that right? Are you just saying that the price could easily go up there? Or that level is the significant level you're thinking it could get to? Definitely think it could get there. Yeah. I say, man, if you can find a good entry, I would go for the longs on that. I'd be feeling pretty confident about that long trade. Got a lot of bars closing to the upside. Like especially when we got above this 1.59, what is this level here? Like when we started closing above this 159.2. Yeah, once those bars started closing above 159.2, which you've got like a few as a bundle of them on the 4-hour chart, like that's now becoming a pretty strong buy. Just closing above all that consolidation. So you're getting a lot of longer term traders confirming their daily and their weekly triggers. Yeah, been watching it for a few days. Yeah, I think it would. At this rate, with today, it seems like we're not getting that midweek pivot like you're talking about. So maybe we get a midweek continuation and up to that line over the next, for the second half of the week, maybe it gets there. I would say that's a pretty good trade. Because here's what happened too, like it ran from these lows all the way up to there, which was 350, 60 pips. It consolidated strong in a really good way, and it stayed there for days. I can't measure that. You know what, I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff. But it consolidated right in here. Get back on there. And it stayed there for a long time, and so that time that it spent, it gathered up a lot of buyers when it started to close back above. So this is where it started to gather more buyers when it started closing up here. So because the amount of time it spent there, it ran up, kind of like a, I guess like a flag trade, bullish flag type trade. On the longer term, you got that run up into this sideways consolidation, and then you've got all these good candles here closing to the upside. So I mean, it can definitely just pivot and turn around, but that looks pretty strong to go up to those levels that you're saying at the up here, that 160.5 right there. You could even just keep scalping all the way up there if it's gonna keep cruising that way. It's just been grinding that way for a while. And if we don't get that pivot today, that midweek pivot, then I think it's a pretty good confirmation of a continuation. That's just my ideas. Doesn't mean a whole lot, really. Market will go where it wants to go. No news this week to consider any real turnaround. Yeah, there's not really a catalyst to spin it around. Yeah, thinking about going against that buy, going with your bias, and then, yeah, if you find a re-entry, it looks good. Like today, the volatility just kind of started later in the session, so you might find an entry now. And it looks good. All right. All bulls for the rest of the week. It's looking that way. Definitely looking that way. I think it's gathering up a bunch of longer term traders to the bull side now. Like this session was a really good indicator. Like if it couldn't get that pivot in today, I think it's a pretty good confirmation to keep going with the bull side. Looks pretty good. See what happens the rest of today. If today closes bullish, then man, I would say that Thursday, Friday should be really strong bull trades. which also would correlate for the short trades on the euro dollar for me. But the euro dollar has just been like, it's just still been sideways on the daily. It's still not going anywhere, but yeah, I think if the dollar yen keeps going up, I think the euro dollar will find these lows over the next day or two again. That's only 37 pips. It should get back to those lows easily, maybe today or tomorrow. Had that rejection to the top upside today on the euro dollar. It had an attempt to make its break up. Didn't quite do it. Anyway, enough of my rambling. You can analyze the heck out of these charts, and then they just don't do what you thought. So, but I mean, you got to go with some probability for sure. Which way has that market been going for weeks? Or it's been a couple weeks now, right? All right, calling that a day. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'll be back in tomorrow, hopefully at the proper time at the New York Open for another session. So have a good rest of your day. Just keep following those rules. See you tomorrow. All right, see ya.